Hi, everybody. How are you doing? I'm Dr. Gail, and this is Susie. Thanks for joining us today. I see a lot of you in the chat. Appreciate you on a Saturday morning joining us. Let's see who all we have here today. And today we're doing a show is Ask the Aliens. So this will be more of a generalized questions that we're going to be picking. We'll get to the personal questions if we run out of the regular general questions. And this is, I know that's a hard to distinguish between, but the personal questions is like a personal question would be, who's my spirit guide versus what are the Arcturians doing now? So we're going to be taking the general ones first, and we'll start off with Susie giving an example of her questions. So anyway, and also I just want to let everybody know we had a little incident last show where somebody was upset that they did not get picked in the questions, which that does happen. It happens to us when we're in chats. And I wanted to let you know it's nothing personal. And Susie is only going by my direction of what to do and who to pick. And so she's just here helping me. And so anyway, it was a one-time incident, and I'm sure it might happen in the future. But we don't have any kind of bias on who we pick and who we don't pick. When it's a healing show, we go in order. And when it's these shows, like Susie will be picking up the ones that are pertinent to the show. So anyway, I hope I haven't offended anybody, but I just want to let you know where our thought process is. And so it's nothing personal. It's just what's appropriate for the show. So, all right, well, let's get started. Well, let's say hello to some people. Hey, Liz Daly. Hey, White Dragon. Hey, Akila B24. Hey, Captain Morgan. Haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for joining us today. Hey, Tina. Hey, Susie 007. Hey, Fun in Phoenix. Fun in Phoenix. Let's see. I believe we're supposed to be doing a show here in the future. I want to see how that was going with you. Hey, Cheryl. Hey, Juno. Let's see. Thanks for joining us today. Let's see who else is here. Hey, Ginger Sky. And let's see. Trancing with Spirit. Darlene. Thanks for joining us today. I've seen some highlighted questions already. So, hey, Deep Albuquerque, which is good. And hello, Sal. I don't know how you say that. Salrodis.
Salros.
Salros. Is that how you say it? Okay. Thanks for joining us today. I'm sorry I'm butchering your name. Hey, M. And hey, Seascape, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us. MEJ. Oh, hey, Son of Watt. Let's see. And hey, Sue M. Hey, Damaris. It's good seeing you. I'm glad you're showing up some more lately. Hey, Patty 73. Thanks for joining us today, everybody. Let's see who else is. Hey, Book Bewitched. I like that name. And thanks for joining us. Hey, Vivian. And hey, Vanessa. Let's see who else. Hey, Hypnicity. And I do see some good questions I think are already highlighted. I haven't read them. Hey, Vanessa. And let's see who else. We have a lot of Spin Fuse. Well, hey, I don't think I've seen you before. Well, thanks for joining us today. And Chris MK, hey, how are you? And Alyssa, thanks everybody for joining us today. And today is about general questions that we're going to be asking the ETs, questions that I don't even know. Susie has questions that we're going to get started with so she can give you examples of what she's talking about. And Susie always has great questions and always has like a whole notebook full of them going, let me pull out this and let me ask you this question. Hey, Brenda Lee, and hey, Stephen Smith. Thanks for joining us today. So anyway, all right, Susie, go ahead. Hit me with your questions. I know they're going to be complicated. Hey, Julie Hamel. Hey, Laurie Huntsinger. Thanks for joining us today. All right, so Susie.
Okay.
I know you're ready. You've been ready.
Are you ready?
I don't know about that. Your questions can be hard sometimes.
Well, you're asking the aliens. You're just ask them.
I know.
Not to think too much about it.
Right.
Okay.
And I got Matt Kai here. She's all excited about this. Is her show, and she's the one who's my little chatty Cathy ET guide. And And she's a descendant of the Arcturians, so she's the one. And I've also got Sally here, who is the one that is the combination of a deer, human. The deer's descended from her, and she's my little diva ET. So she likes to show up on the shows. But Matt Kai is going to be my main one who's giving me the information.
Okay. Do aliens know your life lessons and soul contracts?
Wow, we're gonna have to break that down because I don't think they would have just didn't generally know that. I think it'd be different species, and it would be probably your. I'm going to ask, is your ET guide know your soul contract? How about that?
Sure.
So I don't think it would be just a general, all of them knowing. I'm not sure that they would even be interested, unless you're your guide. So ask me that question about if it's your ET guide again.
Do your ET guides know your life lessons?
Okay, let me see. I'm going to say yes. Oh, they definitely do. They know your life lessons, and this is on a personal level. When they sometimes for me, they'll sit back and fold their arms like, I'm not interfering. This is what you're supposed to be doing. This is what you're supposed to learn, and that would be your ET guys. They do know your life lessons. So, okay. I'm going to ask if they interfere. This is my personal question. Do they interfere at all with your life lessons? No. That's why I do see them sitting back, folding their arms sometimes when it's a difficult lesson. So, okay.
Okay. Is there a Ferengi alien species? And if so, can you tell us about them?
Oh, well, I can say yes, there is. I dealt with them, and it was the only time when I was going on a rescue mission, and they looked just like the Ferengi on Star Trek. I think it's Star Trek. They looked just like them, and we had to go rescue. It was like a family. I don't remember the details about that, but the thing I do remember is my pilot, which was Monto at that time, was not real happy about this rescue mission. He was usually excited, let's go, blah, 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 blah. And this one he was not. And I wasn't real sure. I thought it was something going on personal with him, the way he was acting. When we got there, when we got those Ferengi and those children in, oh my gosh, it was like spring break in Florida. It was crazy in there, and the parents just let the children just go wild. I mean, they were crazy. They were all over me. They were all over Monto. I was pulling off me, pulling off them, but and the parents just sat back and didn't do anything. They just thought, just let them go. And the only thing I could get to calm them down was giving them some ice cream, and they didn't even know what that was. So one of the other Ferengi had to tell them, "You will like it." So that was the only thing that calmed them down. And I remember leaving them when we left them on the spaceship. Monto was still real quiet. He just didn't want to really have anything to do with them. But I remember telling Monto, "Go, well, just think about this, Monto. We're leaving them with the sugar high, and they probably have never dealt with Ferengi on a sugar high." He did enjoy that. So anyway, oh hey Nancy, hey, thanks for joining us today. Rossi, I see you here. So anyway, yeah, that the Ferengi do exist, and I really hope to never see him again along with Monto. Okay, next.
Did the aliens help build or guide the building of the pyramids?
No. Oh, yes, of course. Let me see. Let me get past them. I'm just going, yes, of course. I already knew the answer to that one.
Well, I knew too, but I want the details.
So what kind of details do you want?
How about which species?
Okay. I'm seeing white, like the tall whites. I'm getting a yes on that. I'm seeing it's the tall whites that were the ones that implemented the pyramids here. Let me see if they did all of them. Let's see. The tall whites, did they put all the pyramids on? No, there was other species too. So did they put the pyramids on other planets? Yeah, they have done it on other planets too. And it looks like this is a collaborative thing. Who are the others? It's the tall. I see white. So I see the tall whites, but there's some other species that help them. Is it the Palladians? Palladians. That's why I'm seeing all white, because it's Palladians and the tall whites. And is there anybody else? It looks like there's more. Oh, I'm getting that this is having something to do with all the beings that were in Lemuria and where's the other place? Lemuria and where's the other place that's not here anymore? The species that existed in those places are the ones that did the pyramids. I didn't know that. Did you? So it would be like the tall whites, the Palladians, beings with Sirius B. Anyway, it's a collaborative thing from all those beings that were in those ancient civilizations like Lemuria.
So they help levitate the stones, or
did they levitate the stones? No, I'm seeing that they actually picked them up and moved them. Yeah.
it was the aliens themselves, and they weren't directing the ancient civilizations?
No, I'm seeing the aliens were the ones that actually picked it up and moved it, because it didn't look. It wasn't like picking up a pebble to them. It wasn't anything. Yeah, they picked them up and moved them, and they're showing me that to them it was very little. It was very light.
Does that go for, let's say, Stonehenge also?
Yes. Yes, for Stonehenge also. Atlantis. The Lemurians and the ones in Atlantis, they're the ones that did all this.
Were the purposes for like energy centers, or what was the main purpose?
I'm getting communication centers. Let me see. Yeah, communication centers. And they're on other planets. That's what I'm getting, is it's communication centers between planets.
Interesting.
I'm going to have to go back and look at the show because I didn't know all this Okay. So that's interesting that their communication centers in this for between planets. So that's what they're showing me. They're almost showing me like they're like our, not satellite, but our towers. Like the pyramids were like communication towers, like we do with towers. That's the tower for communication between planets.
And then the civilizations that were there at the time, they used them as tombs.
Okay. It looks like to me what the civilizations used it for was minor. It's just like a token thing. Like, here it is. We need the communication centers. Y'all do what you want to do with inside. So that was probably an individual civilization decision of what they did with the inside.
Okay. I know last time we talked about Gene Roddenberry, but what about William Shatner? Has he been working with any of the ET races?
Let me see. No.
He just has an interest like you and I.
It looks like to me they're showing me his interest was more in acting. It's not actually in communicating with them.
Okay. Do you think that there will be a tour of a mothership in the near future?
A tour by who?
To show humans on Earth. It could be by anybody.
So are you asking, will they be landed and giving us a tour of the ship? We have to narrow this question down a little bit. Because I've already had a tour. You had a tour. I mean, half the people in this chats had a tour of the spaceship. So
The general population.
I asked that question, just going to go, yes, because we all had a tour. Okay. And they would consider us the general population. So we have to ask this differently.
Well, I mean, I don't remember, so that people will remember. The people who will be able to.
I'm going to ask this differently because all of us, I mean, half the people in here are having dreams and things about being in spaceships. So we've all had tours, even though you might not remember, it's going to come to you. But let me see. I'm going to my sister, I'll ask about my sister because she's not in all this. I'll narrow it down to somebody who is not into, and she'll see the inside of a spaceship. And is there a time, because I'm getting a no, is there a time frame that you said?
How about in the next 5 years?
Okay. In the next 5 years. No, it doesn't look like we're going to have an inside tour of any kind of spaceship within the next 5 years for people who are non-believers. And I'm getting a yes on that. There will not be a tour. I'm going to ask, will it be within the next 15 years that we'll have tours of spaceships? It'll be within the next 15 years. It'll be, and so that's what they, the number that popped in my head was 15 years. So it's 15 years before everybody will be exposed to the inside of a spaceship. And they're showing me at that time they might already be doing, taking people on tours, actually, would you want to ride on a spaceship type thing? And that'll be like in 15 years.
Are there humans in the 3D form riding on spaceships right now?
Yes. I don't even have to ask them. I know for a fact. Yes.
Well, what about the G-forces?
It's different in a spaceship. You don't feel all that. You don't feel anything like that. The only time that you feel something is maybe when you jump from a universe to another universe. You'll feel that, but you don't feel that part of the only part that really that you have to worry about is the exposure to the different things that they have, their technology, the different things they have in their technology. Like as I said before, as I've said many times, is I had to go on a special diet before I went on the spaceship, but it didn't have anything to do with this G-forces. It had more to do with their equipment or being in a different dimension and things like that affect you. And I know there are some other kind of, I don't think the rays are the right thing, but you are being exposed to different things than you are on Earth. So, and that does affect you. It does affect humans, the 3D humans. But yeah, the humans are already up there riding in spaceships. And, as I said, I already knew that.
Right. So it's not always just their light body.
No.
Something in 3D form. Okay.
Right.
All right. Should we go to some of the questions from the chat?
Sure.
Okay.
Those are good questions. As always. You always have good questions.
Okay, from White Dragon. Do you know if the gray hybrids kept up the party dancing culture I introduced to them?
Well, White Dragon already had a party dancing culture up there. Because, I mean, I even have medical Mike who dances around me all the time. What they're saying is, yeah, but he showed us a few new moves. And that it looks like to me you introduced, I can't remember when it was that you introduced the time, whenever it was that you went up there and had them dancing and partying. I don't think that was a tradition. So they're going to implement, because they the gray hybrids saying that they will take any opportunity to celebrate and dance, any opportunity. And apparently, when was it that you showed them that you created the party? I don't remember when that was, but anyway, they're going to go ahead and But add that to their calendar is what they're saying. I'm going to add that to our calendar so we have another reason to celebrate and dance. So the answer is that you introduce. They were already dancing and partying, but you introduce some more things to it. So, yeah.
Okay. Some of these are, I know, a little bit personal. Can you from Juno? Can you tell me anything about an Arcturian named Bakta Jen? I recently received some info about him and am curious.
Yeah, that is more on the personal side. Let me see if I can. I'm going to have to move to it. See if I can bring another guide for that question. I would have to have more details about that. You know, that is more on the personal side. Um, yeah, and I would need to have I really need to get more into that kind of energy and probably have a more on a conversation. Okay, yeah, thanks, Gina. More of an interactive conversation here in the chat with that with you to get more information about that because I'm getting that. Well, I'm getting that definitely it was a yes, not true name, but Jen was communicating with you. Now, what he was, the info about him, I'm getting that it was the right information that you were getting, but I'm not sure what that information was. So that's the part we'd have to get more into. I don't know if you remember the information or if you're just asking me to validate it, but it's definitely you received all the right information and all this is right. Yes. And all this is a yes, yes, yes. You did get all that. So listen to whatever they said. Okay. All right. Next.
Okay, from Cheryl. What jobs do the ETs do to help us?
Rochelle, that's a pretty broad question. And that does go with different ET races. We'd have to be more specific about what race is doing what. But in general, just the only general thing is the ones that are the positive ones are the ones that are helping increase our vibration and help Earth ascend because they want us to join them and take a seat on the Galactic Federation as part of the part of it. So to do that, we have to get rid of wars and the conflicts, and we have to raise our vibration and for us to take a seat with them on the Galactic Federation. So, but each one has a different role, and I would say the agenda for the Palladians, the Arcturians, the Syrians, that's their role, is that they're helping us. Now we do have the negative ones who don't want us to ascend. They want to keep us in the 3D world. So that just goes, and you can't generalize each species like that. Is even a part of each species that could be helping us, and the other one's not. So that's a very that's my general question I can give you, is that that's their job right now, is helping Earth ascend so we can join them. Okay. All right.
Okay, from Lori. When on a rescue mission, are those set by the Galactic Federation?
Lori, I would say, well, my rescue missions generally were going by the gray hybrids, sitting on rescue missions. And the information was coming from the Galactic Federation, or if they needed it, but the Galactic Federation had meetings on that spaceship. And that was more of the only ones I knew about were the ones that were first contact. So the Galactic Federation is involved, but only when they had to be involved. So on when the Great Hybrid spaceship, we had the people that would go out and would surveil the area. We had a a soul reader who could tell who was sick and dying and needed to be watched. So we had a whole team of people on that spaceship that were involved in trying to find out and trying to rescue the ones that were sick and dying out of these Area 51 type places. The Galactic Federation supported it, but I don't think they had to be notified every time we had to go on a rescue mission. So I hope that answered your question.
Okay, from Julie Hamill. What is the purpose of the dogmen and skinwalkers on our planet? And will forests and woods be safe soon?
Oh, okay. So Julie, you don't think any place are safe on the woods? I'm out in the woods all the time, but okay. I think it's just that area that's the issue. So what is the purpose of, I'm hearing they're just saying, acknowledging that they're there. It's almost like a step in just being exposed, seeing them. That's what I'm getting. We're just to see them. And also what I'm seeing is we're getting, the media is giving us the negative side of them. That's what I'm getting. There's something positive about them. And it's something about contact. And of course, what they're showing me is that, not sure what they're doing there, but whatever they're doing in that area, there's a purpose for it. And it is for our good. And so they're just saying that the media keeps interfering, people keep interfering, is what I'm getting. And are the second question, are the woods safe? Will be safe soon. And the woods are safe. That's what I'm getting. There's no issue with the woods. It's just that area, and it's not that it's not safe. It's just that they're covering the negative part of it. That's what I'm getting. I mean, you watch a lot of that, don't you, Susie? I don't watch much of that about that Skinwalker Ranch things.
I don't watch that much of that show.
Okay. So anyway, it's how it's being portrayed is basically what I'm saying. It's not a scary, shouldn't be a scary thing is what they're telling me. It shouldn't be scary. And our woods shouldn't be scary. But, you know, there's always this or that or the other that happens in the woods. But me, personally, when I'm in the woods, I'm always taking my dog. So I always makes me feel safe to go in the woods. So anyway, so the woods and the forest are safe. You don't have to worry about that. Okay, next.
Okay, from Salrods. I wonder if starfolk show up on trail cameras, and if so, what sounds they make.
Well, depending on the starfolks, some speak English like we do and look like us, and you won't be able to distinguish anything different about them, so they probably act a little odd. And then it just depends on the species. Like if you're talking about the insectoids, you know, the ant people, the praying mantis, those type. My experience has been they're telepathic, and they make a kind of screaming or high pitched noise. And I'm not sure if a camera will pick that up or not, because it surely hurts the ears to listen to it. So they really go more telepathic. And the Arcturians are definitely more telepathic. So you don't hear, they're very quiet. So you don't hear much coming out of them. And the gray hybrids, they're telepathic and they talk like us. So if you're picking up anything, you can be picking up different sounds and languages, but most of them, I think, if they're here on Earth, they're going to be trying to keep that part quiet and be telepathic, because they are very telepathic. So, and that's in general on most of the different ET species. But again, we'd have to get back each species, and I think I gave you kind of a overlay of part of them that a lot of them can communicate in any different language, so they can pick up whatever is that language in that area. They'll go ahead and speak in that. So They're just a lot more far advanced than that. So I don't know if you've had some cameras out there and have found some sounds. That'd be interesting to hear if you have some. But anyway, now the insectoids are, as I said, there would be some crazy sounding. Those would be some crazy sounds that you might hear. Okay.
Okay, from Alyssa. How do ETs, the ones in higher dimensions, view death? Do they feel sad when someone transitions, or is it more like, I know I'll see you later?
Let's see. I do. They live a lot longer than us, and I think. And again, this is more species for species changes for each species, but most of what they're showing me is that they actually decide when they're, and I'm getting a big yes on this, they decide when they're ready to go. So they do view it a lot differently than us. They decide when they want to take on, they pass on, and they do look at it differently. And they do decide, okay, I'm finished with this lifetime, I'm going to go to another one. So it is different. And do they feel sad? Yes, they do feel sad, because when that person makes that decision, that means the other people are going to be missing them until they decide to go and join them. So they do feel the sadness, but it isn't the same. And that's interesting. I didn't really know that.
Ginger Sky. Do ETs have spirit guides, angels, as we do?
Yeah, that's a good question. Let's see. I'm getting a big yes. Yes, they do. They have the same. Well, what they're saying is the ETs, might be here in human form, and you have the spirit guides, and it's the same guides that go through, or whatever planets you might go to reincarnate on. You're still going to have your same team with you. You have your team. Ellen, they're telling me that you might become a team for somebody else. But you're in general, like what they're showing me is like if somebody of your family decides to reincarnate on Earth, you might end up being their own spirit guide or one of the gods. But generally, yes, they do have them, and the same ones stay pretty much with you on every lifetime. You might change places. Okay, that's good.
Why, from Randy, why are the ETs working with the governments? What is the purpose?
Wow, that's a huge. First word I get in is commerce, and so that's a big general and money, commerce. That's the big thing. The government's wanting all the weapons. They want the new technology. They want to make money on it. They want to be the first. That's basically that's the purpose. And each country, is trying to beat the other one with the technology and the commerce and the trades. Thank you, Captain Morgan, and the trades. So that is what the purpose. That's what's going on anyway, and the purpose is for each country to try to jump on and get the best and most technology and the best weapons and whatever they can do to get a jump on the others and being in control. Eventually, we will all be together. The countries will come together, and we will. I'm not sure how soon that will be. That'd be a good question. How soon that will be, but we will be one, and that's when we will be going into the Galactic Federation, as we will all come together. The countries will, before we do that.
Okay, from M. Are there any underground ET centers under cities like New York City? What species?
Yeah, there are underground. I know the Lemurians. I'm in Mount Shasta. The Lemurians are here. And when I was talking to Terry, and we were talking about behind the scenes, we discovered that they were traveling in the cave systems around. So let me see if there's one specifically under New York City. Is there an underground ET center under New York City? No, there's not. is the one in upper state New York. There's one in upper state New York. And it is the Lemurians. Apparently, the Lemurians, which I didn't know that until here recently, as I said, and it's Terry with Holding Your Space. It's Terry's YouTube name. Holding Your
Space.
Holding Your Space, Holding the Space. Anyway, she and I were talking about this, and we discovered about the Lemurians so traveling in the, and that's why everybody was being exposed to them, or traveling in the cave systems, and they are actually being seen a lot more. So wherever the cave systems are in your state or area, that's how the Lemurians are traveling. Now they do have bases in waters, and they do have bases elsewhere, but I know that the Lemurians are traveling in the cave systems. So that's one species I do know that is traveling in the cave systems. But there's a lot more underground. Terry, Holding Your Space. Thank you, Teresa. That's what that's what Susie said, I think. Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, from Brenda Lee Lynch. Can the aliens help us individually increase our vibration?
Yeah, Brenda Lee, if you have an ET guide, which I'm sure you do, probably practically everyone in this chat who's even interested in what we're talking about has an ET guide, and they are there to help you raise your vibration. That is their whole purpose. That's the purpose for the ETs to be here, and it's mainly the Palladians that are helping us, trying to help Earth ascend. The Arcturians help the Palladians on their world, and the Palladians are now here helping us. It's almost like a payback type of system. So the Arcturians are here also, but it's mainly the Palladians, and it's because they were the last planet that recently ascended. So they're here helping us now, the last star system that ascended.
Okay. This is part of the chat, but I thought it would be a good idea to address that Las Vegas incident. Or do you have any information about that, whether it was an ET crash?
Remind me of what that story was.
There was a family that called the police and reported that there were ETs in their backyard in Las Vegas.
What about that? Because I have addressed that in the past, and yeah, that was definitely true. That was definitely true. The one that was recently, was that in Florida?
Miami.
I mean, that was not. But that one was true. That one in Las Vegas was definitely true. And immediately when I heard the story, I connected with it, and I knew that was true. The one in Florida, I could not connect with, and I kept going, I don't know why I'm not connecting. And then, they finally showed me that was some kind of teenage hologram, whatever, some kind of thing that was going on. So the one in Las Vegas definitely was true.
I can kind of see them in the videos that I watched.
I really don't try to feel it, connect with it to see if it's true. But that one in Florida, I could not connect with that at all. So I knew something was wrong with it until they finally showed me.
Okay, Fine in Phoenix. Do hybrids live longer than regular humans?
Yes, they do. They live a lot longer. In fact, practically every ET species lives a lot longer than we do. Their medical technology is a lot better. Their diets, their exposure to things is a lot better. So, and they will be teaching us all this. Well, they are trying to teach us that now, but we're not listening as much. We're stubborn humans. Okay.
Earth Mama, do ETs remember their past lives while in body?
Because immediately they said parallel lives. So do they have past lives, or is it parallel lives? Parallel lives. What they're showing me is, and this is really strange. what they're showing me is a past life doesn't really exist. And they're showing me rings. Rings go around the planet. Like, here you are here this lifetime, but this lifetime is going on. And you might interpret that as a past life, but it's actually going on simultaneously. Let me see about that. Yeah, that's exactly what they're saying. That all these lives are going on at the same time. It's just how you rotate through to identify it as a past life. I never knew this. It's how it rotates around, and that you think it's a past life, but it's actually another lifetime that you're experiencing. I had no idea. I'm glad you asked that question, Earth Mama. Um, so to answer that question, they don't consider anything a past life. They considered it as a lifetime that's going on now that you're. And I'm asking, going, why aren't we acknowledging all that at the same time? And humans are simple. So I'm not even going to go any further on that one because of that answer. I don't think I want to know any more than that. But so anyway, so apparently they're considering it all parallel lives are happening at the same time. Nothing is a past life, which that's extremely interesting.
Okay, Liz Daly, are there mermaid-type aliens in our oceans?
In our ocean, I know there are from Sirius B and also Cetus B. Let me see if they're in our ocean. Oh yeah, we do have them in our ocean. And they're showing me that there's very, very, very deep. That they exist. They exist beyond what we have encountered yet. And I'm asking, will we see them one day? And we will see them one day. And let's see. Well, we know they exist within the next 5 years. No. We know they exist within the next 20 years. No. 25 years. 25 to 25 to 30 years. And that's an iffy. It's going to be a long time before we know they exist, but it's way deep in the oceans that we are not even have the capabilities of getting there yet.
Okay, from Rita, is there an energy that ETs feed on called loosh? I think Linda Moulton House said that. Also, a few others have said it.
Loosh, is that what it's called? I just know what I've had on my gray hybrid ship. I called it mush. Let me see if that mush is loosh. Oh, it was. It is. That's exactly what it is. That white, nasty, watered down grits, or they say watered down grits if you're from the South, or watered down potatoes, a combination. It was nasty, no taste, but that was the same thing. That was what was called loosh. And let me ask that question again and make sure. Yeah, yes. Yeah, that loosh. And so that is true. But I'm not sure about them feeding on it. Well, actually, that's what they ate. So I think that, again, would be different ET species. But this is the gray hybrids that that exposed me to that stuff, and it was nasty.
They had the wrong recipe for vanilla ice cream.
Yeah, because I asked them what it was, and they said it was vanilla ice cream, and I was like, "What?" And so they thought they were celebrating it, giving it to me, and oh gosh, it was awful. And I'm not one of those stoic people that can eat something and not show it all over my face. So that was tough. Loosh. Now I know what really it's called.
That a white mush?
Yeah, I called it mush. Nasty mush is what I called it.
Okay, this is from Tararina. It seems like every time the ETs Uncloak in the 3D, they raise vibration. Those not aligned act out and create division. What is done to help those ascend?
I don't know that they will, and we don't want those ones that don't want to go ascend. They'll go someplace where they're comfortable. They'll go to another 3D planet, and so we'll be divided, like we're being divided now. But the ones that and don't push, if you got family members or whatever who are bound and determined to stay, the 3D world, don't push them because they need to be where they're comfortable. Everybody needs to be where they're comfortable. So the people who want to stay in 3D will get to stay in 3D. The people who want to ascend will ascend. So that's basically how it happened. And it's not really that they don't align. It's just they're just on a different path.
Okay, from Julie. Will the people on Earth be able to use the med beds soon to help save lives?
I think, I'm thinking you're talking about the public. Okay. Will the med beds be public soon? No. Now they're using those med beds on us already. The light workers, they are already coming in and taking you to the med beds. But for it to be in the public, oh gosh, they're telling me this is very much of a financial thing, because when we start using the med beds here, it's going to be throwing out so much monetary gains from all the other avenues of medicine. So the med beds, they're going to be stifling them coming into public here because of how much revenue they'll lose by having the med beds here. Let me see if they'll be here within 20 years. So the med beds will be here within 20 years. Possible. Let me see, within 5 years. I know there's not 5 years. No. 10 years. No. 15, 20. It's no time soon, and that's the reason. It's because of the money, and that the medical field and pharmacology, all those people will be losing so much money when the med beds come. So it'll be more of a forced thing by the ETs, it looks like to me. But right now, they're showing me that we're all going up there and using it already. So there is being used on us already, and what they're telling me also is there'll be what are they calling it? Like black market med beds might be popping up here and there soon. We need to make sure about that. And it'll be a word of mouth. Yeah, there'll be black market med beds will be showing up. It will not be mainstream. So that's going to be something that we're going to have to look out for. Let me see if they're already here. Are there already some med beds here? No, but the black market med beds are coming very soon. Really soon, like within the year. The black market, and it'll be ET's technology that will be helping certain individuals create these. It's what I'm seeing, because we will not be able to go mainstream for many, many, many years. So that's good to know. Now, how are we going to find these people?
We have connections.
Yeah,
Med bed mafia.
Yeah, but they're saying we're already using them. Hold on just a minute. I've got to cough. Okay. All right. Yeah, I want to know how we're going to find these people. We're going to have to do word of mouth on that. Anybody who finds a med bed, let us know. And it's going to be within the year. So let us know.
Okay, from Rossi. Are whales and dragons the same shapeshifter species, or are they different species?
So are whales and dragons the same shape? Okay, are whales and dragons the same? I don't think so. No. No, they're not the same shape shifting species. I can't believe I said shape shifting without stumbling. It's probably because I'm reading it. They are different species. Yeah, they're different species. So there you go, Rossi.
I think those are all the general questions. I do have some that are more personal.
Okay.
If you wanted to take some of those.
Yeah, we'll take some of those.
Okay. Let me go back.
We're going to go about 5 more minutes. I have a chiropractic seminar to go to. So we'll be leaving just a little bit early, just so I can get to it, because it starts immediately after the show.
Okay. Tina, I was wondering if my friend Nina is on the Athena in the kitchen with me. We talk recipes all the time, and I had a feeling she was.
The friend Nina, is she working the Athena with you? No, she's not. I'm sorry. No, she's not. Is she working on another spaceship? No, it doesn't look like she's working on a spaceship at all, Tina. They're telling me she's very earthbound. Yeah. So, no, I'm sorry, Tina, she's not.
Okay. Ginger Sky, I've always suspected my husband is an alien. This was even my first thought when I met him first time. Is he an ET?
I hear a hybrid. Let me see. Husband ET. No. Is he a hybrid? No. I'm sorry, Ginger Sky. He's not either. I thought for sure I heard hybrid. What they were saying, there is something to it, but he's not an ET. He has ET DNA, is what I'm hearing. But he's not even a hybrid. He just has some ET DNA, which practically everybody has. He might have a little more than most. Yeah, he does. So I'm wondering why they're not considering him a hybrid. Is Ginger Sky's husband a hybrid? No. Okay. Well, there you go, Ginger Sky. He is not an alien. He's not a hybrid, but he does have more ET DNA in him than most people. So I'm going to ask about Ginger Sky, if you don't mind, Ginger, if she's a hybrid. Is that where they were coming? Okay, yeah, Ginger, you're the one that's the hybrid. That's where that was coming in. Yeah, you're the hybrid. He's not. You are. So, I hope I hope you have been asking him or telling him you got to be an alien. No, it's you, Ginger. Okay. All right. Next.
Okay. Hypnicity. Did ETs take over my GPS 3 years ago? I had the strangest thing happen and wondering if it was them.
Okay. Let me see. Yes. Take over GPS 3 years ago. Oh, yes. That's a yes. And I'm hearing it for your own safety. I'm not sure what that's all about, but yes, they did take over. And I'm hearing it's for your own safety. I don't know the whole story. That'd be good to hear. Nice to hear that whole story. Okay. We're going to take this one last question. Hey, Damaris.
Okay. I need messages.
Any kind of messages. Let me see what I can get here. They're proud of you. Damaris, I don't know what you're doing right now, but it sounds like to me they're proud of you for whatever you're doing, or what you're thinking about doing. Looks like to me something has moved in the right direction is what they're showing me. And I'm going to pull out of my Starseed Oracle deck for you, see what kind of message they're going to give me. Loosen your grip. And so this is coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. So what this is telling is that you're hanging two types of some I don't know, something that I know you're working with a lot of things and you're very connected with the ETs, but apparently they're showing me that you're like a tunnel vision on something specific, and they're wanting you to open up to something else. I'm not sure what it is, Damaris, that you're being so tunnel vision about. I'm not sure if it's like your mode of connecting with them. That's kind of what I'm getting, is that they're wanting you to open up a little more to that, because it looks like to me you're very, very structured on how you're communicating with them, and they want you to loosen your grip. They want you to open up. I don't know if that makes sense to you, Damaris, but whatever that is there. Yeah, it's just that they're congratulating you going in the right direction, but they wanting you to loosen up a little bit. I don't know if something scared you, or that you're just really in narrow focus. But anyway, Damaris, loosen your grip. Okay, everybody, I've got to go to a chiropractic seminar. So thanks for joining us today. Thanks for all my moderators. Thanks, Susie, for your help. And thanks for all my new and old subscribers. And we will have a show on Wednesday at, let's see, 4 o'clock Eastern.
1 Pacific and 4 Eastern.
And that'll be with Sherry at Trancing with the Spirit will be joining us today. And she'll be talking about all about ETs there. And you can bring in your personal questions at that time. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining us. And we will see y'all later. All right. Bye-bye.